on, Washington Commander fans? Hail to the Redskins, hail to the Commanders. Let's go dive into the game we had this weekend. This weekend we played the Denver Broncos at Denver. Started off very rocky. Before I get into that, please go ahead and follow me on Twitter and Instagram and on here. Subscribe, comment, whatever it takes. Participate in the channel. It helps the YouTube algorithm to get out to more people. And yeah, so let's dive into this. So Washington played the Broncos. We did start the game off. Actually, the offense started the game off very well. We moved the ball on every drive we had for the most part early in the game. We got down to the red zone, couldn't punch it in, and Joey Slye missed a field goal on the first possession. Then the Broncos came back and boom, 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 down the field, they scored. And that was kind of the trend for most of the first half up until Russell Wilson fumbled. At one point, we were down 21-3. And I actually was in the car. So this weekend, I went to Atlantic City. Did not have a great time. Just gonna throw it out there. You know, that means I lost on gambling. But no, it was a 9-hour drive, and yeah, it was not fun. And I was driving back, and around when the game started, my wife and I switched seats. So she drove, and I got sitting in the passenger seat and watched the game, but I had 2 kids in the back that were in and out of sleep and crying, so it was kind of rough, but I was still able to watch the game. And I will say that it's for some reason, and I am usually like very erratic during games, like very upset and very like emotional about games. I did not have any concerns at all in the world about this game when we were down 21-3. I really didn't. I did not have any concerns. I threw my hat maybe one time. I think it was on a really good play, and it was like a stupid hole, brought it back. And my wife was like, I threw it on the floor. I was like, why'd you throw your hat? I'm like, because I throw my hat when I'm upset. You've watched games with me before. She's like, well, what are you going to do? What? I was like, well, let me just gently lay it on top of the dashboard. And then how's that sound? Does that sound better to you? She goes, no. I'm like, okay, well, there we go. Don't judge how I react to things in games. So, yeah, sorry, I'm in traffic right now trying to merge. And the traffic's not moving. So, yeah, I'm just making sure I don't kill anyone. So I was not actually discouraged at all when we were down 21-3. Then we got that fumble, and then we boom, 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 went and scored a touchdown. And all was right in the world. I am very impressed with a lot of things with this team. So let's just go over position by, to sum up, if you have not watched the game yet, we won in we made it more dramatic than we had to. Some young corners have to learn to bat the ball down, not try to get the pick. They'll learn that in the future, but we got lucky. I won't say we got lucky. They got lucky, they got the pass, and we got a little bit lucky they didn't call a penalty. So, yeah. And now I'm in the landing again. Very good, okay. So, we won 35-33. A lot of historical things about that. It's the first time we've scored over 30 points in years. First time we've been 2-0 since like 2011 or 2012 or something like that. Very, very good game. Ron Rivera's 100th win. That's also another good one there. So let's just start position by position. First off, Sam Howell definitely deserves a game ball from me. He was fantastic. He had 299 passing yards. He was it 27 for 39 passing, which is 70%. It's 69% completion percentage, nice. And did very well. I watched the game. I do not recall any really bad throws. A couple tips here and there, but no really bad throws. He was fantastic. He threw a dart to John Bates for the end of the half to get us in field goal range. It was a good 40-yard, 30-yard dart to get us in field goal range. He did the same thing last week when we played the Arizona Cardinals. So very good on his part, and he threw that dart to McLaurin. And we have not got to the point where he's really had to like battle back. And this is a comeback, but the game was tied before, I think before the fourth quarter. So we came back pretty quick. And we really in the game we have to shoot out with people. I'm really going to be anxious to see that, because he, for the most part, unless I missed something, I do not recall him putting the ball in harm's way very much at all. Not at all. Okay, he did very well. I'm very impressed with him. I'm not very, like, to me, I expected this. I expected him to be a good quarterback. I just watched the Steeler game last night with my wife, and Kenny Pickett's not better than Sam Howell. I don't care what anyone says he's not. And I think Sam Howell's shaping up to be the best quarterback in this draft by a country mile. Okay, So he did fantastic. He's done all the things well. 3-0 on 3 starts. This is his first road start, and he still did very well. I'm very impressed with Sam Howell. I'm very happy he's our quarterback. He's got to protect him. The biggest thing. He got sacked 4 times yesterday. Or I'm sorry, Sunday. Today's Tuesday. He got sacked 4 times on Sunday, and we just got to clean that up. We got to clean it up. Charles Leno and Wiley have to clean that up. The interior is fine. It's the edges that are getting us. Okay? And if we can protect our quarterback, if we can get rid of those 4 sacks, this game wouldn't even be close. And if we can hit field goals, the game wouldn't even be close either. So, a lot of things positive about the quarterback position. Let me move on to the running back position. Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson definitely made up for last week. They were very active in the catching game. They were very good on the ground, especially Robinson. So both of them definitely made up for last week. That's what I said last week. They need to play a little bit better, and they definitely played better. Eric Bieniemy called the game better. It wasn't as conservative as it was last week. I do wish he'd run the ball a little bit more, but just a little bit more, just to get the defense on their toes. He does tend to get into some rhythms of just passing, kind of like Jay Gruden used to do. But I would say that it was better balance this week, a better called game. He knew exactly what to do to get the team in rhythm, and it pretty much continued as soon as we got the ball after Chase Young's strip sack or strip. Not Chase Young. It was Jamin Davis. So. Very good on the running back part. Very impressive with the running backs. Receiving core, can't say bad about them. Sam Howell hit 9 different targets more than twice. So he's spreading the ball around. So no one's going to, when you're doing that, no one's going to really have out of this world numbers. But McLaurin did well. Dotson did well. Samu did well. Everyone did very well across the board. There is one of our tight ends, Logan Thomas, did get put in concussion protocol because of a dirty cheap shot while he was in air. So that's something I want to comment on real quick. Dirty shot. Back-to-back weeks we're getting dirty shots from defensive players. The one last week, I thought the one last week was a little more egregious than the one this week, and the guy didn't ejected the last week. Okay, but I guess it's because the guy was in air and everything. I don't know. But he got ejected. So receivers and tight ends did pretty well. I still want to say that there was at least one drop by a tight end, like John Bates maybe, 1 or 2 drops. Got to catch the ball and then look upfield. He was looking upfield as the ball was coming in, so he didn't look it in and didn't catch it. So it put us in a 3rd and long. I think Sam Howell ended up converting the 3rd and long, so it wasn't the biggest deal in the world, but it could have been, and it can add up and be problems in the future if we don't catch. You got to catch the ball first before you turn upfield, dude. So I'm not. So the offensive weapons and the quarterback position was very good. I'm not any way, shape, or form think that they did bad at all. They did great. Offensive line, run blocking was great. However, pass blocking, we've got to get better at protecting the edges. Okay, we got to get better. We're gonna get our quarterback hurt, and then we're gonna be back to playing like Jacoby or Jake Fromm or whatever we're gonna decide to do. Okay, we got to get better at quarterback at protecting our quarterback. Okay, defense looked like shit the first quarter. I will say it right there. It's pretty much the whole first quarter. The defense looked like shit. They did come back. They did battle back. They did say no, enough is enough, and they did make it so they had some goal line stands where they forced like field goals. They did do that. That was in the second half. They had a couple. One tackle for ended up forcing a fumble that pretty much shifted all the momentum to us, and we never looked back. They did get a pick by Emmanuel Forbes. They probably got a couple more picks if we could just catch football. So did an amazing job. I'm not defense the first quarter. Just erase it from your memory, and then play like you did from like the midway through the second quarter on, and we'll have a lot of good games like that. Defensive line did great. I think we got 7 sacks on Russell Wilson. 3 of them by our 2 ends, Chase Young and Sweat. And I saw this on Twitter. Where are all the Chase Young haters at? No, I don't hate Chase Young. I'm just tired of him like putting faith in the guy to play, and he's got all these like random reasons why he doesn't want to play. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with that for 4 more years. Do you want to deal with that for 5 more years? I don't care if he played well today. For all we know, whoever played in place of him would have done just as well. We don't know that. Okay, so I don't want to hear that from people. I'm tired of hearing that. Like, well, Chase. No, I still feel the same. Trade him, sign Montez. Only one of them was getting signed. Okay, we do have $85 million or almost $100 million in cap space coming up this year. Great, but if we want to spend all that on our 2 defensive ends, the rest of the team's going to suffer because a lot of guys are free agents. St. Cameron Curl is a free agent, so on and so forth. So we're going to have a lot of things. And I know we're going to invest our draft in. We're probably going to draft a left tackle. That's the first thing we're going to draft. Okay, but we're probably going to have to draft and replace some other guys if we're going to pay 2 defensive ends, and that's fine if we want to. That's a lot of money invested in one part of the defense. Okay, so that might be what we do. But overall, I think Washington did well, and I will say Eric Bieniemy did well, and I even say Jack Del Rio did well. He basically made it so we were able to make a comeback. It's the one thing, if our offense can go and score after being down 21-3, it's one thing. But to be able to score and know the defense is going to get off the field, give you the ball back immediately, keep the other team's defense tired, all those things are going to contribute to a win. And I do have to throw out some stats for Sam Howell. Sam Howell was, I already said this, never mind. He's got 501 passing yards so far this year. It's averaging 250 yards a game. What is it, 4 touchdowns to 2 turnovers? I think he's doing very well. I'm so impressed with Sam Howell. I never really doubted it. I saw what he did in college. And I saw what he did last year against the Cowboys. Cowboys are looking like one of the best defenses in the league this year. So the fact he did that against the Cowboys, and it wasn't like they weren't starting. Maybe they weren't trying, that you can say that. But anyone out there that's playing on the football field is going to try. Because if you don't, when you don't go full speed, you don't try, that's when you get injured. Okay, that's when you get injured. That's when you're most likely to get injured. When you're going half speed and someone else is going full speed and they want to waylay you, that's how you get injured. So I've been pretty confident in him since we drafted him, pretty much. I did want to draft him. I thought we'd draft him a lot sooner than we did, but I'm not going to complain. And that Chris Olave trade, that trade we got for Chris Olave is looking really good, considering we got Sam Howell out of that deal, Brian Robinson. We also got Jahan Dotson and Cole Turner. That trade is looking like such a good trade for us. So good. It's looking like such a good trade right now. But yeah, that's all I want to talk about. We did a great job. I'm very impressed with Washington. I'm very impressed. Now, if we just start out fast, I wonder how good we'll do. We better start off fast against the Bills. Bills are significantly better than the Broncos and the Cardinals. And they're coming to our house, so we're going to have loud fans. We're going to be loud. It's going to be a different environment than most times when people come here. So it might be a shock to some people whenever they see how vibrant and exuberant our fan base can be whenever we actually, have an owner we support. We don't mind giving our money to an owner that, in some way does give it back to us, whether it's with a product on the field or whether it's with someone that cares about the fans and winning. Dan Snyder just cared about the team winning and didn't know how to do it and didn't give a shit about what the fans thought. Okay, Josh Harris is proven track record in the short amount of time he's on this team that he is light years ahead of Dan Snyder in every way, shape, or form when it comes to being an owner. So I don't want to wax poetically anymore. I've already gone on 13 minutes, but I'm very impressed with Washington and how they handled this comeback. I'm very impressed with Sam Howell. I'm very impressed with Eric Bieniemy's play calling. The adjustments made. This is what a football team is supposed to do. You're supposed to make adjustments. You're supposed to rely on the other side of the ball to make big plays for you so you can come in and finish it off and so on and so forth. So very anxious to see what more Washington does defensively or offensively. I don't think we've even opened up I still think there's a lot more to be done with the offense. I think we just get to a point where we get ahead and then we just kind of shut down and get a little bit conservative. And I like to see what happens when we just open that up and just put our foot on the gas and try to get as many points as possible. I know it seems like kind of bad sportsmanship, but I'm really curious to see what happens if the offense has to do that. We have to outscore a team. We get in a shootout. We have to put up 45 to win. What can Sam Howell do? I think he can do it. I think he can sling the ball everywhere. I guess maybe it just depends on the team. Maybe it depends on the day. But very excited and very happy with this win. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What was your favorite part of the game? My favorite part of the game really was the defensive strip sack, the defense forcing a fumble. And then in the second half, you just see all these TFLs, tackles for loss, tackle for loss, tackle for loss. And I love it. And Russell Wilson for years has been like a pain in our ass trying to get him down. He's always eluded us. He's always been able to scramble, make a play. And it's been his MO the entire time. So the fact that we had a game where we just got after him and he was like, he looked like a statue in the pocket for the most part. Is really excites me. I don't dislike Russell Wilson. He's not in any way, shape, or form my least favorite quarterback. But he has caused us some headaches in the past, and it's good that he didn't cause us one today or Sunday. But let me just think in the comment section down below. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and obviously comment and follow me on Twitter. It's Commander J Plank. All right, have a good one, and hail to the Commanders. See you.